Please remain seated during the entrance of the ministers. It is hoped that sitting quietly helps you reflect more deeply.
Okay. Hawaii Betsuin.
This Sunday Aloha service remembers the cost of war in human suffering, the first use of nuclear weapons in war. Continue with mindful reflection, Vandana and Tisarana, music selection, Peace on Your Wings, the unison reading of the Gomonshu's Pledge, a Dharma message by Reverend Tatsuo Muneto, unison song, May Peace Prevail, unison reading of Metta, Loving Kindness Aspiration, followed by the Nembutsu. Now let us have a moment of mindful reflection. Let us pause for a moment and relax, be calm, and make ourselves ready for listening. We will begin at the ringing of the bell. Sit quietly, breathe gently until the bell rings again. Thank you. The Vandana Antisarana is an ancient chant that praises the Buddha and reaffirms our commitment to the three treasures of Buddhism: the Buddha, the Dharma, our teachings and values, and the Sangha, our community or ahana. Chanting the Vandana Tisarana together is a way to share our commitment with each other. Please stand if you are able, and let us chant the Vandana and Tisarana together, led by Reverend Yuika Hasebe. Thank you. Please be seated. Next, we will enjoy a recording of the August 6, 2020 reunion cast virtual performance of Ohana Arts' Peace on Your Wings, the song from the musical Peace on Your Wings. This musical happens to be in performance today in Los Angeles at the Aratani Theater. For those unfamiliar with this 2014 Hawaii original musical, Peace on Your Wings is inspired by the real-life story of Sadako Sasaki and her 1,000 paper cranes. Set in post-war 1950s Japan, the musical follows the lives of middle school students in Hiroshima. The play's original musical score, composed by Ohana Arts co-founders Jennifer Tyra and Laurie Rubin, combines modern pop with Japanese influences to create a unique, uplifting, and inspiring show. Laurie Rubin stated that Ohana Arts was honored that Hawaii Betsuin wished to share the message of Peace on Your Wings during this peace service today. Peace on Your Wings is more than a musical theater play. It is part of a continual movement to educate children and adults alike about the important global message of peace. More information can be found at the Ohana Arts website. Please enjoy. Please stand if you're able for the unison reading of our pledge written by Reverend Kojung Otani head priest of Worldwide Hongwanji in Kyoto, Japan. Please view the screen. Reaching out to others, I will share a warm smile and gentle words, just like the kind Buddha who always calls out with aloha. Breaking away from my greed, anger, and ignorance, I will try to live in peace and harmony, just like the Buddha who shares tranquility and kindness with all. Moving forward from self-centeredness, I will share a life of joy and sorrow with others, just like the Buddha whose caring heart always embraces us. Realizing that I live because of others, I will strive to live life to the fullest with an attitude of gratitude, just like the Buddha who promises to embrace us all. Namo Amida Butsu, Amida Butsu, Amida Butsu. Please be seated. This morning, it is our pleasure to have as our speaker, Reverend Tatsuo Muneto. Reverend Muneto is a retired Hawaii Hongwanji minister who started his service in 1965. Most recently, he was our acting head minister in 2022 after his full term as head minister was completed in 2015. Reverend Muneto has served temples throughout the state, including Hawaii Betsuin, Hilo Betsuin, Kona Hongwanji, Lehue Hongwanji, and Mo'ilili Hongwanji, as well as the Buddhist Study Center. His hometown is Hiroshima, Japan. Reverend Muneto. I'm sorry, his talk this morning is entitled Peace Matters.
Good morning. Mahalo nui loa for attending today's peace service. I'd like to recite the aspiration for today. Join us for meditation. As the sun shines upon the earth, awakening the seed that lies therein, so does the light of truth shed its glorious radiance in the hearts and minds of all mankind, calling forth into activity, compassion of universe. May the same light shine upon us all, realizing that life is one, and we may constantly work for the well-beings of not only of ourselves, but also for everyone, everywhere. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Our new Bishop Toshiyuki Umitani was officially confirmed as the spiritual head of Hawaii Kyodan. This ceremony was at Honzan last week. Yesterday, more than 200 people gathered for the welcome luncheon, and that was a very enjoyable event. As our mistress of ceremony, Sharon Sekine, said earlier, today we observe peace service. Through this special service, we honor those who have lost their lives through the blast of atom bomb 78 years ago, exactly 78 years ago. And we wish for the abolition of nuclear arms in the entire world. May we wish for eternal peace in the world. Today is August 6th. On August 6, 1945, Hiroshima City was totally devastated by the explosion of the first atom bomb. More than 140,000 civilians were killed that day. 3 days later, Nagasaki City was destructed by the second atom bomb. Over 40,000 citizens lost their lives instantly. The Second World War ended on August 15, 1945. In spite of the devastation of the country, Japanese people were resilient and patient, and the country soon was reconstructed with the aid of other countries, including the United States of America. People in Japan, as a whole, are peace-loving people. They don't want any kind of war fought. They wish for the inner peace as well as peace in the entire world. Sadako Sasaki, who was featured in the musical Peace on the Wings, was only 2 years old when Hiroshima town was destroyed. In the morning, she was in the living room, and with a total blast, she was pushed 6-7 feet without any injury. Sasaki family moved from their destructed house to a river for evacuation. So lots of people were on the boat. Early afternoon, black rain fell, and 2-year-old Sadako bathed black rain that contained radiation. She was okay while she was attending Noborimatsu Shogakko, but at age of 11, he started leukemia, the blood disease caused by the nuclear bomb. Sadako didn't want to die. So she said in Japanese, "Shinito nai, shinito nai." I don't want to die, I don't want to die. So she started to fold paper cranes. Her wish was to fold 1,000 paper cranes in the hospital. 50, 75, 125, 500, 600. When she folded 850 or so cranes, she died. So her classmates gathered at the hospital room to fold 150 paper cranes to make it senbazuru, 1,000 paper cranes. So senbazuru, 1,000 paper cranes became the symbol of peace movement in Hiroshima, in the entire world. Sadako Sasaki is remembered forever by the people in the world. During the annual memorial service, citizens of Hiroshima and Nagasaki declare that nuclear arms to be abolished for sustainable peace in the world. We in Hawaii express our true aspiration for peace of the world during the month of August. Locally, Hiroshima Memorial Service will be held tomorrow at Daijingu, and our Bishop Umitani will attend. Usually, many members of Hiroshima YMCA come over to attend the service, and they hit the peace bell. The annual Nagasaki Peace Walk is a Buddhist peace movement. Dozens of Hongwanji members will attend this gathering in the afternoon of August 9 at the Nagasaki Peace Tower. Originally organized by Dexter Ma, the peace walk has become an interfaith event. The members of other religious organizations join. These local events were organized to express our hope for the abolishment of nuclear arms. And we gratefully acknowledge the nuclear arms restrained by the world's nuclear powers, United States, Russia, England, and so forth. Thus, we local Buddhists have been engaged with a peaceful peace movement. That is a wonderful gesture for us today when peace really matters. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is continuing for more than a year and a half. The families have been divided and many people have been evacuated to neighboring countries. When can they return to their homes? Atomic bomb should never be used in this war. We face today many kinds of crises in the world. We see divisions in our country, political and racial. Recently, violence was a big issue at school on the mainland. Last year, many Americans lost their homes due to the forest fires and flood caused by climate change. Climate change is a big challenge for human race now. Peace really matters. What then the guideline for Shin Buddhists to work for peace in the community and in the world? That is a deep feeling of pity and sympathy towards others, with Amida Buddha's compassionate heart Hongan that vows to liberate all from the human existence. Without this compassion of Amida Buddha, our work for peace, for ourselves and for others, is complete and temporary. The section 4 of Tannisho teaches this truth in the following words. Compassion in the universe, compassion in the early Buddhism is expressed through pity, sympathy, and care for all beings. But rare is it that one can help another as completely as one desires. In this life, no matter how much pity and sympathy we may feel for others, it is impossible to help another as we truly wish. Thus, our compassion is inconsistent and limited. Only the saying of Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, manifests the complete and never-ending compassion, which is true, real, and sincere. So, in Jodo Shinshu, it is taught that our compassion is limited. So, Amida's compassionate heart embraces our limited self. Our saying of Namo Amida Butsu in Shinjin awakening manifests the complete and never-ending compassion, which is true, real, and sincere. May I share with you how I realized my sympathy and pity for others were incomplete. And thus, I learned that Amida's compassion was thoroughgoing. It was about 50 years ago. The United States military was deeply involved with the Vietnam conflict. And as North Vietnam force were invading the Saigon area in the early 1970s, US Air Force deployed B-52 bombers. It was said that more and more people in America were becoming against their country's involvement with Vietnam conflict. B-52 started to drop bombs over North Vietnam and Cambodia. And they dropped the bombs over North Vietnam and Cambodia. And that was called blanket bombing. I learned that those B-52 were refueled by oil tanker called Boeing KC-135 over the Pacific Ocean. Those oil tankers took off from Hawaii's Hickam Air Force Base. This change in the situation of Vietnam War became very alarming to me personally, because I had friends, Buddhist monks and nuns in South Vietnam. I felt more sympathy and pity to those friends in people in Vietnam than ever before. In order to appeal to the US Air Force to stop this operation, I talked to several young Buddhists here, and Aloha Committee for Anti-Vietnam War Buddhist demonstration was organized in 1971. Dr. Al Bloom, a UH professor, and a few YBA members like Jerry Sakamoto and Pat Fujitani, and 2 more planned for the demonstration. It was not a violent act or civil disobedience type of demonstration. It was just to distribute 250 sheets of pamphlets expressing our desire to stop bombing. Our plan was leaked to the press, and one morning, the news was reported that there will be a Buddhist anti-war Vietnam War demonstration. Bishop and his wife and several Betsuin board members gathered at the bishop's residence. They and I discussed if the Buddhist demonstration was appropriate or not. Local ministers supported the Aloha Committee, but members of Betsuin board maintained that the military bases are important part of Hawaii's economy. I was overwhelmed by the board members' strong opposition. So for a few days, I was in the parsonage. I was at a loss, sad, a little bit depressed. And I sat down and reviewed my file that I had made for the demonstration. Then I found in my file the words in section 4 of Tanisho. The section reads, "In this life, no matter how much pity and sympathy we may feel for others, it is impossible to help another as we truly wish. Only the saying of Nembutsu manifests the complete and never-ending compassion, which is true, real, and sincere." I realized that in completion of my love and concern for my friends and others in Vietnam, when this realization arose in my mind, I found out that such a limited person is embraced by Amida's compassionate heart. With this complete Amida's great compassion, my limited compassion was affirmed. So I talked to the members of the Aloha Committee and we went to the gate of Hickam Air Force Base and distributed about 200 sheets of pamphlet, flyer at the gate to those who worked in the Air Force Base. It was through this humble experience in 1971 that I learned two things. One, I was a bombu, foolish person of blind passion. Two, Amida's compassion embraces such a limited being. With this inner peace that is nurtured by Amida Buddha's compassion, we can go out to practice compassion for others and towards peace of the country and the community. In our peace service today, we will sing a gatha, May Peace Prevail. These lyrics were written by our Minurani Honganji member, Harry Kawamoto, and the gatha was composed by UH Professor Takeo Kudo. Let us joyfully sing this gatha, which is about peace. In today's life, peace matters. Peace is our hope. It is our life. Our Jodo Shin teaching guides us to find inner peace for peace in the world. So may the members of Honganji Sangha become peace-loving people in the community. Our Pasik Buddhist Academy is teaching a wonderful program for achieving peace for youth. May we work with them in collaboration. In September of 2024, we observed the triple celebration, Honpa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii's triple celebration. It is 850 years since Shinran Shonin was born in Japan. It is 800 years since the teaching of Jodo Shinshu was organized by Shinran Shonin. It is 135 years since the seed of Jodo Shinshu was planted in our Hawaii Nei. Let us look forward to taking part in the commemorative programs next year, and may we work for the progress of Jodo Symbolism in America. In concluding, I'd like to recite the aspiration that I had offered in the beginning of today's service. May I bow our heads in meditation. As the sun shines upon the earth, awakening the seed that lies therein, so does the light of truth shed its glorious radiance in the hearts and minds of all mankind, calling forth into activity the compassion of the universe. May the same light shine upon us all, realizing that life is one and that we may constantly work for the well-beings not only of ourselves, but also for everyone, everywhere. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.
Thank you, Reverend Muneto, for sharing your inspiring and thought-provoking message. As he said earlier in his talk, we will now sing the song, May Peace Prevail. So please stand if you're able for the May Peace Prevail, which is found on page 89 of the White Gatha book, Sing Namo Amida Butsu, or you can view the screen. Thank you. Please be seated. Oh, I'm sorry. No, no. Please remain standing. I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to do the unison reading of the Metta Sutta, which is an ancient poem about the importance of loving kindness. Please view the screen. Actually, I found it in this white gospel book too, right? The page right after the song "May Peace Prevail." It's on page 93. I mean 91, and I mean it's written to music, but we're just reciting the words. Okay. All right. May all beings be happy. May they be joyous and live in safety. All living beings, whether weak or strong, in high or middle or low realms of existence, small or great, visible or invisible, near or far, born or to be born, may all beings be happy. Let none deceive another, nor despise any being in any state. Let none by anger or hatred wish harm to another. Even as a mother, at the risk of her life, watches over and protects her only child, so with a boundless mind should one cherish all living things, suffusing love over the entire world, above, below, and all around, without limit. So let each cultivate an infinite goodwill toward the whole world. Namo Amida Butsu. I ask you to stand again if you're still able to for the singing of the Nembutsu, which is our main expression of entrusting and gratitude in Shin Buddhist teachings to lead happier lives. Please see the screen or turn to page 135 in the red service book. Thank you. You may now be seated. Okay. Okay. I'd like to introduce any visitors we may have. Actually, I'd like to just mention that Reverend Muneto's family is here, and his daughter Pamela and her two children are here all the way from the East Coast. So thank you for joining us today. Are there any other visitors that don't be shy. Okay, if not, I would like to thank any other people who are maybe here for the first time. Thank you for coming to take time to spend with us to experience our peace service. I'd like to make a few announcements at this time. First of all, as a bookend to the first atomic bombing of Hiroshima on August 9th, we commemorate the last, hopefully, atomic bombing of Nagasaki with the Hongwanji sponsored 4 Petals Interfaith Peace Walk, which starts from the Hawaii Betsuin and ends at the Nagasaki Peace Bell at Honolulu Hale. The walk starts at 6 p.m., preceded by a short service here in the Hondo at 5:30 p.m. Reverend first, let's see, Alan Kubota, you have an announcement.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Alan Kubota. I have an announcement for the Dharma School. The Betsuin Dharma School is having an activity this Saturday. It's a pizza and fun night this Saturday from 4:30 to 8 p.m. We'll have a service at 4:30, a short service, followed by games, which is pickleball. Pickleball is out there. You want to learn? We'll have the net set up for you. Switch for all of you young whippersnappers out there. And we'll also have board games for the mature audience. Register. If any questions, please call Debbie Kubota at 808-295-3315. Again, 295-3315. There is a registration link on Facebook, and I believe it is up on the website now. If you're ready for some fun this Saturday, please join us. Thank you.
Next Sunday, August 13, regular Sunday service will be held at 10 a.m. At over here at the main temple. Reverend Sharon Kihara will share her Dharma message. And now, Hawaii Betsuin BWA, Fujinka is collecting the school supply at the Hawaii Betsuin business office. So please bring the school supply at the business office this month by August 31. And after this service, refreshment will be served at the social hall downstairs. This is a special refreshment for welcoming our new bishop, Reverend Toshiyuki Umitani, new member of Hawaii Betsuin, Reverend Yuika Hasebe, a new associate minister of Hawaii Betsuin, Reverend Brain Nakasone Sakata, and farewell for Reverend Soru Karu. Reverend Karu moved from Hawaii Betsuin to the headquarters. So please join in this refreshment. Thank you.
Can I also add to his announcement that we would like to also recognize our departing business manager, Ashley Ito. Okay. I have a very, finally, I have a call for help. And this is a call for help to everyone. Every Sunday after the service, refreshments are served, pastries, fruit, and other goodies, along with coffee, tea, and water. Someone has to provide and prepare these refreshments. Currently, there are only a few groups providing manpower to prepare the refreshments: the BWA, the Board of Directors, and the Dharma School. Everyone is shorthanded, and many times the same people are doing the work week after week. So we are asking you, the general membership, to help us out in this time of need. You don't have to be a member of an organization. You just have to be willing to help. You don't have to know what to do. Instructions and training will be provided. All we are asking is for you to sign up to help for one Sunday or more if you can. We realize that schedules change, so don't worry. You can always change your dates if something comes up. It's a great opportunity to work with and get to know other members at the temple. There will be 2 people with clipboards at the back doors with sign-up sheets. We're asking for your assistance only for the 2nd and 3rd Sundays of each month, starting with next week's Sunday. Please take a look at your calendar and sign up for a day that you can help. We look forward to working together with more of you and appreciate any help you can give. Thank you. And as this concludes our service for this morning. Oh, you do. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Good morning. On behalf of the Hongwanji headquarters, we'd like to express our appreciation to those who attended the investiture ceremony and welcome luncheon for the 17th Bishop Toshiyuki Umitani yesterday at Hawaii Betsuin and Sheraton Waikiki. Thank you so much. The beautiful flowers you see in the altar, Mrs. Junko Hagio made arrangement. Thank you, Mrs. Hagio. So I'd like to ask your continued support to the Honpa Hongwanji mission of Hawaii and Hawaii Betsuin with our new leader, Bishop Toshiyuki Mitani and Rinban Yuika Hasebe. And let's live in the name roots together. Thank you.
And my short announcement is kind of connected to the investiture as well. For you here in the Hondo and also those of you at home on Zoom, you may have noticed that between the altar pillars there, you don't see Obon memorial lanterns. And that's because for the investiture ceremony, we took those down and we placed them along the side of the Hondo. So maybe Alan can kind of show you how we fit more lanterns along the side of the Hondo. So anyway, if you were used to seeing your lantern here, it may be on the side now. So I just want to let you know, they're going to stay up through August, and then they will, the ribbons will be mailed to those who made bone lantern dedications at that point. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, before we leave, I'd like to thank a big thank you to Wendy Yumori for being our accompanist this morning. And thank you very much, Dave Atchison, Wayne Yoshioka, Alan Kubota, and Irene Nohara for their help with the online service. Also, thank you to our ministers, reception, and refreshment volunteers. And as was mentioned earlier by Reverend Furusawa, we have a very special coffee hour downstairs. So please join us for refreshments and fellowships downstairs in the social hall. Thank you all for coming again to this and joining in our special peace service. Have a wonderful and safe day. Hope to see you again next week. Bye.